What's going on, guys? Marco here with Dynasty Nerds, bringing you 4 running back sleepers. All right, guys, so we've got 4 running back sleepers for the 2022 season. The first one, we're going to kick it off with Kenneth Gainwell. Obviously, Miles Sanders is there, and Miles Sanders is going to be on the field, but Kenneth Gainwell was actually better when Miles Sanders was on the field. He was more efficient. He actually saw more targets. On 107 touches last year, Kenneth Gainwell got a first down or a touchdown on 40 of them. That's crazy. He saw 20 of the red zone touches last season for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was kind of their goal line guy, which is so weird, their red zone guy, because obviously he is a smaller frame dude. He's like 5'8", 5'9", 200 pounds, but he is just one of those guys who gets all of the valuable running back touches for this team. Sure, Miles Sanders might lead the team in rushing opportunity, but we don't even know if that's a lock. Miles Sanders even came out and he goes, "Don't draft me in fantasy. I'm not going to be the fantasy superstar." And obviously take that with a grain of salt, but I think Kenneth Gainwell, who is going very, very late in Dynasty startups right now, could be a guy who is a flex option, if not more. And if Miles Sanders were to go down, I don't think Kenny Gainwell is going to just take over the Miles Sanders role or all of the opportunities. The other running backs will be there, but that actually helps him. So there's really not too many ways that Kenneth Gainwell isn't going to provide value for you in 2022. He is going to be on a team that's going to score a lot more than it did last year with the addition of A.J. Brown. Who knows what happens with Jalen Hurts? I think he takes a little bit of a step. We don't know how big, but either way, Kenneth Gainwell is getting all of the passing work. He's getting a ton of the red zone work. He is a guy right now that you can get for almost nothing, and he could be someone that fills in bye weeks for you, and like I said, could end up being a nice flex come mid to end season for 2022. He's a perfect guy to target in your dynasty startups and in your dynasty leagues. The next guy on my list, he's a rookie coming out. There was a little bit of hype, then he kind of faded for a while. It was Tyler Allgeier. So he ended up with the Atlanta Falcons. And here's the thing, Tyler Allgeier was insanely productive in college. And sure, competition, yada, yada, yada. We know all of those conversations. But he actually had more yards than Breece Hall. And so that's one of the things that you don't really realize. Like, sure, the competition matters, but at the same time, the numbers he was putting up were just absurd. He's not an athletic freak. We saw it in the combine. He didn't test insanely high in the combine, and that's probably why he ended up falling to where he did. But he lands on an Atlanta Falcons team that just said, Cordarrelle Patterson's not going to be running the ball as much as he was. And Cordarrelle Patterson wasn't running the ball that much. He was running the ball on average around 9.5 times a game. They added Damian Williams, who had 40 total carries last year. If anything, he's more of insurance and impeding on the volume of Cordarrelle Patterson, not on Tyler Allgeier. I think Tyler Allgeier might be involved in the passing game, but he is pretty much set up to be their early down guy. He's probably going to be involved in the goal line or at the goal line. So Tyler Allgeier is another guy, in rookie drafts, you're not having to pay a first round premium. You're not having to pay an early second round premium for him. And in dynasty startups, he's going near the end of drafts as well. So go ahead and throw Tyler Allgeier on your taxi squad at the very least, because he has so much upside. And when you're looking at rookies that are going to bring you tons of value that people aren't seeing, I look at running backs over wide receivers. Typically, those are the guys who teams are willing to give a shot on based on, health of their running back room or just necessity. And so I think Tyler Allgeier has very little competition for actual carries on this Atlanta Falcons offense. He's one of the guys who shown that he can be an elite producer at the college level, and I think he brings very solid production to the Atlanta Falcons this year and maybe beyond, because the Falcons are going to have to address holes in other areas of their team in the first round, maybe even in the second round of next year's draft, and maybe they don't go running back if Allgeier provides decent production for them, which like I think he can in 2022. All right, the next guy is Patriots Rhamondre Stevenson, and here's the deal. Patriots backfield, kind of like Miami backfield for a time, which I don't think is this year, but for a time like San Francisco's backfield, there was a lot of question marks, these murky backfields, but Rhamondre Stevenson kind of came on at the end of last season. He was number 4 in juke rate. He was number 19 in yards per touch. He is just one of those guys who could take on an enormous workload for this Bill Belichick offense. Obviously, Damian Harris is going to be involved. He's not going to be, the workhorse back, even though he has the ability. He's a big-bodied guy. He has phenomenal footwork. He can be involved in the pass game. He can be involved in the first and second down, just running between the tackles kind of game. And I think really with RHAMONDRE Stevenson, you are not getting, most people aren't excited about any of the Patriots running backs. Damian Harris is starting to see, really, if you're involved in fantasy circles on, Twitter and things like that, you're starting to see Damian Harris be like, hey, he's a value, but not a ton of people are talking about RHAMONDRE Stevenson. And when you're looking for premier running back upside, RHAMONDRE Stevenson has all of the traits. He was one of the underrated running backs coming out of college that I really, really liked. And I think he's someone who, if he can get opportunity to get out on the field, will show that he deserves to be there. And we already saw it at the end of last season. So go ahead and look at what you can give up for RHAMONDRE Stevenson in a startup. Go throw him, like I said, at the end of your bench on a taxi squad. If you have some extended years on your taxi squad, I like what RHAMONDRE Stevenson can give you in upside for the New England Patriots. All right, the last one I've talked about quite a bit if you've seen any of my videos, but it's Isaiah Spiller. I mean, Isaiah Spiller is just one of the most undervalued players in fantasy right now. His poor combine made him plummet in rookie drafts. He is obviously on a team that already has Austin Eckler, but Austin Eckler ran the ball more than he has ever run the ball in his entire career last year. He had the most red zone carries that he's had in his entire career last year, and obviously it worked well. The Chargers did well. Eckler performed well, so he's not going to lose all of those. But the Chargers have been in dire need of a 1B to Austin Eckler's 1A. Austin Eckler is still a premier running back for fantasy football. Isaiah Spiller, I think, will actually benefit Austin Eckler, and Austin Eckler will actually benefit Isaiah Spiller. Right now, I've got Isaiah Spiller projected for 180 touches on the season. He's coming in as my running back 29. And if Austin Eckler were to miss any time, Isaiah Spiller is an instant RB1 option. He is that talented. He's 20 years old. His footwork, patience, and vision strung together is one of the prettiest running styles you'll see out of a young running back. And sure, he's got some things he's going to have to work on with blocking and things like that, but he's 20 years old on a very efficient offense that added a guard in the draft. They added a Khalil Mack in the offseason to this defense. They're going to want to run the ball more, and Isaiah Spiller will be an enormous benefactor of that. All right, guys, those are my running back sleepers. If you're looking for more sleepers, you already know about all those guys. Drop comments below or hit me up on Twitter at Marco_14P. I will make sure to get back to any and all DMs, tweets, comments below as soon as I can, as soon as I find them, as soon as I catch up with them. So make sure to hit me up there, hit me up down below. Use the link in the description below. You'll get a little bit of a discount if you subscribe to the Nerd Herd. You'll get a little bit of a discount with the GM tool. Lots of awesome perks come with that. Use my promo code. You help me out, which is pretty great. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. We are getting closer and closer to 10,000 subscribers, and we want you to help us get us there. All right, thanks for hanging out. Be kind, do good. Peace.